Welcome back to another episode here, guys, from Men Behind the Mitts, episode 79. Every time we go up an episode, I just get like happier, and I'm like, another milestone. Like every episode's a milestone. And before we get started, we just want to thank you for joining us again and helping us get here to 79. Without you guys, we really wouldn't have much reason to do this. So it's great that we get to interact with you guys and share our take on the league, and then also our personal lives, which we've got a lot lined up for you in this episode. We dive deep on some individual player attributes, do our divisional breakdowns for you, and we got some good stories at the end of the pod for you guys. Definitely a doozy of a turkey day and pre-Thanksgiving night as well. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining us, and let's get the show started. What's up, bro?
Hey.
How
you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you? I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to see you.
I'm living the dream.
Living 33 and thriving.
You're 33?
Yeah, is that news?
I don't think just don't remember numbers like that, ages.
Yeah, 33. Wow, yeah, I'm 33. That's fucking nuts.
I forget how old I am too, so it's not like I don't remember other people's. Like,
yeah. Oh, this year was
like, hey, bro, you're 31. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I'm 27. Like, wait, no, I'm not. How old am I?
I think about that every day. I'm like, ugh. Yeah. I was mixing up 30, 32, and 31. That was a mix up. I was like, what year is it?
I was talking to my chick about this. I heard something on a TikTok. Go figure. Blew my mind though. The chick was like, we're actually older than we say we are, because when we finish that year, we're finishing that year. So for instance, I'm actually 32 because I'm working on my 32nd year now, and I'll be 33. Isn't that crazy, right?
That's one way to look at it. Because I mean, because because you don't count at zero. Excuse me. You don't count like, hey, this guy's zero. Where it's like, oh, he's a couple days old and he's 1 month. Does it bother you, the months? Do you do that? He's 49 months.
No.
What? You lost me after 24. We got to start talking years.
After 12. Yeah. After 12.
Yeah.
It's years. I hit the 6 month, always 10 months, always 11 months. He's a year. I did not hit him with a 13, 15, 17. He's 17 months.
It's 18 months. He's in the first percentile.
1.5.
Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about?
It's weird.
It is weird.
But hey, people just want to hold on to that baby fever. They
do. And you know what? I get it. I cherish it because they're only that size for a day. They change every day. So
yeah.
Before I want to touch on one thing before we jump into hockey, because we're going to mix things up. I saw you bought little man his first pair of ice skates.
Yo, I was cheesing ear to ear the whole time. You would have thought I was getting new wheels.
Right.
It was so awesome too, because he's 2 and it could have gone any type of way as far as him reacting. And the dude came over, excuse me, and he like gives him a fist pound, and he's like real cool working with him as he's smashing him up. And I'm just like, this is awesome. This is going perfect. He's not throwing a fit. He's being cool with the guy that's fitting him on skates. He puts the skate on by himself like a big boy. This is awesome. Yeah, dude.
Man.
He's got a Bowers. Team Bauer off the jump.
Beautiful. Yeah, chick showed me. She was like, did you see? And I was like, yeah, right in the feels. I was like, right in the feels. I was like, I wonder if we can buy puppy skates. Can we get the puppies on some skates?
I was asking stupid. I was like, do I profile these? Do I have to sharpen these regular? Like, I don't know anything about toddler skates, bro. It was like,
I gotta bake these when we get home.
Yeah, I was like, I go a size and a half down, almost 2 sizes down. He's like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do as adults. These, they're almost dead on.
Oh,
so
okay.
Like the toddler skates are accurate to shoe size, where us is, going to be different. Like I'm an 8.5 on my skates.
Yeah, I go one size down. I'm a 9.5, but that's fine. You go 2, huh?
Yeah.
Do you prefer like a snugger fit? Is that
Yes.
the reason? Like you? Okay.
Yeah. That's another reason why I'm able to skate with no socks too. Now that I've molded them too, it's like wearing socks. But yeah, I like them tight. I've skated a few times where like they're not even laced and they feel like they don't even move without them. Like
that's incredible.
Yeah.
But
here's another thing about skates too. I was looking into it last night. How you lace them. The bottom hole. Do you go through and then over, or you go over and then through?
I go through then over.
See,
I
always did it that way. They say you're supposed to go over and then like, you know what I'm saying? Like it should be over top.
Yeah.
Through. And I was like, all right, well, let me do this. I Googled Matthews. I Googled McDavid and I zoomed in on skates. Matthews does over. McDavid does under. So I read an article where they're saying how to do it this one and keeps them tighter longer, but I mean, it's personal preference, but it's something I never really ever thought about.
It doesn't really change the way you would tighten your skate, right? Because you're still pulling up. It's still an upward motion.
Yeah. It's just that bottom. Yeah, it's weird, right? But
that's weird. I don't really do my skates tight on my feet. I do my skates tight on my ankle.
Oh, I do them all the way up.
I don't. I do like I only pull the last like 5 holes.
Oh, interesting.
I don't like them tight on my feet. I got wide ass feet though.
Very interesting here.
Man, I'm good. Now I want to Google how people tie skates.
Yeah. I did.
All right. We're going to come back to that though. We're definitely going to come back because I made a purchase as well that I want to talk about, that I spent some time Googling and YouTubing and comparing. So we're definitely going to talk about that. But what we're going to do, we're going to mix things up this week, guys. Welcome back to another episode. We're going to mix things up. We're going to drop some hockey first. We've got a lot to talk about going around the NHL. Yes, a lot of stuff with different players, divisional updates. I believe there's a new team in first in the Metropolitan Division. We'll get to that, though, for sure. Right, Chuck?
Fern.
You got to put the
Fern. You're not hip.
Not hip, but let's roll right into it, man. Let's jump right into the NHL. A lot of news just nonstop today through Instagram, NHL app. I was getting all types of notifications. First off, we got to touch base on Jack Hughes, my man. He started out the year former number 1 pick, was with New Jersey, got sent down. Didn't have the best start to the season, got sent down. Big fella's right back up, and he secured the bag. 8-year. $64 million.
He was injured this season too.
Yeah,
he's been on injury. Yeah, he's bouncing back tonight. Signs a big deal and comes back same night. I saw his tweet. I feel like playing hockey tonight. Whoo, that's one way to give him the hype, huh?
Absolutely. And he said he's got 63 games to prove he's worth his contract. So
yeah, he said he started out hot. He's got 63 games to get hot again. Yeah, I like it. I like the attitude.
I like the attitude too, man. He's young. He's got the fire in him. I'm excited to see the talent, man. It's always a good thing to have the young talent really firing off the NHL, man. It's really, man, it's just a good thing to see. Yeah, it's a good thing to see.
USA hockey too, man. These US players are really, really stepping it up.
Yeah, the USA hockey is big. Jumping into the next top headline that I want to cover, Evander Kane is back in the news. Looks like he cleared waivers. Looks like
San Jose put him on waivers.
Before
his false vaccination card suspension was up.
Man, it's just so
very Evander Kane-ish.
Tough out here for the vaxes. It's tough out here.
It is. I would have done the same. Reported to the minor league Barracudas. So we'll see how that goes. Apparently, there's an Eastern Conference team that's very, very interested in him.
Yeah, so I guess his new agent that he's dealing with, it looks like they reached out to the Canucks, the Vancouver Canucks. Looks like they're the most interested. Is that what you got?
Canucks are up there. The East Coast team that I'm referring to is the most interested from the articles I've read is Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the thought of that is kind of scary because if Gino's back too, that could be deadly.
And speaking of Gino in Pittsburgh, he hit the ice today, I believe today or yesterday, practiced with the squad. So the knee is well under repair, and I think he's getting ready to make his comeback as well. So maybe Pittsburgh's holding on to 4th as of right now. So they could be climbing up pretty quick.
Yeah. They can. We saw it last year when they were floating at the bottom and then made the playoffs. Who knows what?
Yeah, I was one of the people to make the poor decision to count them out too soon.
With you, I think.
Yeah, too soon on that one, bud. I don't know. We're going to see with the addition of Gino back, and dude, could you imagine Kane over there? I don't know. Is this guy cancer? You know what I mean? Who knows what the outcome of Evander Kane could be? Is that someone you'd want to invest in?
I'm 50-50 on that. The guy's having a career year this year. He started out hot, and then he started having all this baby mama issue, which ended up being false. And now he's, trying to get the courts to force her to take like a mental thing to like prove like that she's crazy, which, that would only validate that would only validate that. Listen, I tried to tell you boys, this shit was fake. She took, you know what I'm saying? She's crazy.
Yeah.
So he's trying to do anything he can to credit himself. But the fake vax, bud, I mean, I get it. You want to play hockey and you're not going to let that stop you. So I can't really be too mad in that aspect, but we don't really know what's going on. Obviously the GMs and coaches would, know more when having those type of transaction discussions. But I mean, based off what we know, you have to assume the guy is still good at hockey.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's definitely, there's a reason why he's here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you in dire need of someone to come in second liner and produce goals, first liner?
Yeah.
He could, a Buffalo, even though he's been there before, but you know what I'm saying? A Phoenix.
Yeah. I mean, I know the type of deals you would do too with Kane, and, short 1-2 year, a little bit of money, zero signing bonus, in my opinion. You know what I mean? This guy's got a maybe league bonus or like season bonus, make playoffs or hitting a certain amount of points. Sure. Yeah. Something like that. Give the kid something to strive for. I mean, I still think he's 7 digits in debt. That's just my opinion.
I would not doubt that.
Yeah, I mean, you got a high profile.
He needs to be like getting everything he can out of the rest of his career, right?
Yeah, no joke.
Because he could have a career year on a 1-year deal this year with, let's say, Vancouver or Pittsburgh, and next year sign a 4-year deal for big money.
Yeah,
if he proves
himself. He sidelines the baby mama drama, and gets everything back on track.
Yeah, it helps carry a team to the playoffs, maybe out of round 1 into round 2, leading goal scorer, most points, something like that. You got to start thinking about signing for a 4-year. So he has time to do it. Look at Ovi. Age is now just a number. Dude. You know what I'm saying? You used to think, oh man, 32, like they're aging out. Ovi.
Oh, okay. This is also the Russian machine. This guy.
Look at Patrick Maroon. Patrick Maroon was doing it for a while. Jumbo Joe was doing it for a while. Yager is still playing.
Very true.
He's 7 years old. So it's you got to think if like Nathan McKinnon, the way he takes care of his body. You don't think this guy's gonna play for a while? Come on, like
I love those McKinnon tweets where it's like, if McKinnon knew you were having a soda right now, it's like I absolutely love those, man. But yeah, I wish I had the funds to do something like that, like McKinnon. All right, let's not get too far off because I can
talking about waivers though. Another surpriser for me was Ryan Murray. I mean, Matt Murray.
Matt Murray. I was like Ryan Murray. Matt Murray placed on waivers.
Kid wins a cup, goes to Ottawa. See you, bud.
Here we are.
It's all about the team in front of you, too, though. I mean, because look at Grubauer. Grubauer was right there. You would have thought Colorado was going to win the cup with him, and then he goes to Seattle, and now they're talking about dropping him.
That's nuts.
But they're playing terrible.
Yeah. I was going to say it's tough. I mean, Ottawa's record 4-14. Not exactly an easy team to play behind, like you said.
Yeah, you're facing a lot of shots every night.
Yeah, maybe that's a low-key blessing for Matt Murray. Who knows?
Yeah, because he could end up somewhere else and maybe Washington.
Dude, man, we are in desperate need.
Yeah, the goalie situation. I mean, Samsonov has been getting slightly better, but still.
And this guy's what's crazy is Samsonov's getting accolade after accolade, shutout after shutout. I mean, this guy.
But at the same time, then he lets like easy ones in. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, you can't have it all, right? I guess you either get the shutout or
or you let the fucking easy ones in.
Yeah, I don't know. You definitely ain't having both. I can tell you that. But before we get too far off of Ottawa, we do need to touch on the Brendan Lemieux biting Brady Tkachuk. Did you see that?
Oh, yes. I saw the statement. I watched the fight. I saw the statement. Very interesting. I didn't see it. It's hard to see based off the angle. Did you see a bite?
So what's weird is, for those of you guys who don't know, Brady Tkachuk and Brendan Lemieux got in a bout of fisticuffs. When they got down to the ice, Lemieux was on top of Tkachuk, and it looks like you can't see his hand. You don't see a Mike Tyson bite.
Yeah, you don't see a biting motion.
But what is weird in the only thing of having Brendan Lemieux's side is when Tkachuk's in the penalty box and the ref comes over, he like doesn't know which hand to show him. So like that was kind of weird. I don't know if you saw that.
But
like,
I mean, he just got throwing. I'm sure they're both a little tender there after throwing blows.
I don't know if someone bites you.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but what a
sketchy
move! What a move for the bite. Definitely Tkachuk laying some heavy words. I mean, the guy just talking about how, who wants him on the team. And
no one wants him on their team. And he's a fucking classless, like all this shit. And his brother chiming in on it. He wasn't wrong. But then Jonathan Quick, the Kings goalie, came to the aid of Lemieux, saying, that guy's full of shit. I would take Brendan Lemieux over Tkachuk all day.
Which is wild because you're talking about Brendan Lemieux or a captain of a squad.
Yeah, well, captain of the worst squad in the league, so it's not gonna say much.
Not the worst, second worst.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Let's shelf that if you can still count Arizona as a hockey team.
I still call them Phoenix until they start winning. Then I'll call them Arizona.
You're just Phoenix, bro. You don't get the whole state yet.
I saw a tweet from a Coyotes fan about we're no longer Phoenix. We were never in Phoenix. Blah, blah, blah. Well, fuck you. We've done nothing to say otherwise.
Right.
You're Phoenix.
I can absolutely agree with that. Also, other big news. I don't know if this was big news, but I just absolutely loved it. I think we exchanged text messages about it. But your boy Austin Matthews getting a little chippy with the announcers in the booth, and I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here
taste their own medicine.
Yeah, man. It's funny because I was talking to Chick. I was talking to her about it, and she was like, "Why does he have an attitude?" I was like, "Imagine being one of the best players in the NHL and just being critiqued,
constantly criticized,
ridiculed
for everything you do,
everything." And you know what? He's like, "Yeah, who gives a shit? Like, you guys are in the booth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's easy to break down a play when you're not in the play."
Exactly.
Like,
he should have done this. Yeah. Well, how many times have you watched this replay in slow-mo?
I was gonna say you're the fastest game, one of the fastest guys out there, and we know his ability with the puck. He's already got some of the best decision making there is. You know what? Give the guy a break, huh?
Clowns.
I don't know, but I love it.
I don't give a fuck what you guys think.
Yeah, I'm here.
That was enough said.
I'm here for Matthews chirping back. I loved it, and honestly, it almost like. This professionalism they expect or whatever, man. Like I'm dressed out here playing a game. Like you're stopping me to do this bullshit interview
in the middle of the game.
Yeah, and that's what I told Chick. I was like, why do you think they all say the same thing when they get beat? Yeah, we didn't get pucks in deep. We didn't get pucks in the net. We gotta get. Yeah, they did that better than we did. Like that's how they won. Like if someone asked me like, what are your thoughts on the game? I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? They did better than we did. Like that's pretty simple. Like that's what I mean. Like you can talk about a specific breakdown, but it's got to be tough. Especially where he is, American player in Toronto. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure, the largest hockey market there is. I've always said this: hockey interviews are cringeworthy.
Yeah.
There's very few times where I watch a hockey interview and I'm like, oh, it's a good interview. Most of the time, it's like they're deadbeat from just playing a game.
Yeah,
they can't hear and they're responding to an answer that wasn't even relative to the question. Like it's just, or they don't speak English. Yeah, we pass puck. Very good. How's it like being in Washington? Oh, I love hockey. Yes,
they like me. They cheer.
Speaking of Russians, though, with the accent, Panarin, you saw this incident with the rat, Brad Marchand. Oh my God, I don't think I've ever seen that before, dude.
No, through his glove. For those of you who
break
don't
down
know.
the scenario. Okay, they're both on the bench chirping. We've all seen this before, yelling from bench to bench. Fucking Panarin throws a temper tantrum and throws his glove at Brad Marchand.
Did you see what his quote was of why?
Yeah, I don't know if we can believe him word for word, but he said that no one in Russia likes you. Also be salty given the Russian conspiracy that just happened.
That's a luncheon chirp though.
No one in Russia likes you. Yeah. He said if that's what sets him off like that, we're in the softest league ever. And he's right.
coming from probably the second most hated player.
Also, just called a suspension right after that when the Vancouver game for Slewfoot. 2 games.
3-game suspension on the Slewfoot.
$91,000.
$25,000.
91,000 I saw.
Well, that was the total. Yeah. So like that was like the total that he's going to end up losing because of the incident. So that's what I didn't know if, because I saw the fine was 25,000, but I don't know when you're suspended, do they
I guess
hold
you don't
pay
get
or
paid.
something?
Yeah, you don't get paid.
I don't know.
If your contract's performance based, like you get paid per game. Right? I don't know.
No, not a good look. But here, I wanted to discuss the slew foot because this has been a trend. It seemed like there's an uptick this year in the slew foot, mostly coming from PK Subban and now Brad Marchand. But PK getting away with it 3 times and actually ending someone's year off a slew foot, and he it was his 3rd strike, and that's when he got the suspension and the fine, and they're giving Marchand his right up front. Is this the way of letting them know that they're now paying attention to it? Do you think? I mean, because Marchand's was blatant. I mean, he was both feet up in the boards. He's lucky. It was a smart play to try to not to recover. Because you know what I mean? If you try to recover in your leg, you get that leg tucked up under there and going on the boards as fast as they were going. That could have been bad news bears. Like, no joke.
Yeah, 100%. I guess. I mean, I think you would have thought they would have been all over it to begin with player safety. Where the fuck are you at?
Yeah, and
Tom Wilson was out here doing shit like this, he'd have a career suspension.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous on what they will ridicule and micromanage compared to what they let go.
Right, and we talked about slew foots on the last podcast and how dangerous they can really be. I mean, especially when you're moving at speed. You get in those blades, man. They grab ice. You get caught.
Especially like Marchand, where you're that close to the boards too. You're falling backwards.
Dude.
Now you take a risk of you're being pinned between the boards and falling backward. Like there's just so many variables that could cause injury. It's just crazy.
No joke, and it's definitely not room for it, as we said earlier. But before we get too far away from Boston, we also got DeBrusk. Big news out of Boston. DeBrusk looking for a trade. Looks like he wants out of Boston.
Requested a trade out of Boston. I don't know what stirred that up. Maybe he feels like Boston's on the decline finally with the Magic trio, but who knows, man? I think Boston still got it. I mean,
for sure. There's plenty of season.
I don't know
left.
What's going on. Maybe he wants more responsibility, more ice time. I don't know what it could be.
There's plenty of
Boston making the playoffs still this season.
Oh, for sure. They're on that bubble spot. They're bounced between 4 and 5 right now with Detroit. But their season's far from over. I think they're going to be knocking into the playoffs for sure. And if not, they're going to be on that bubble button for sure.
Gutsy move too, because like what is going on now in the day-to-day riding on the bus, you're vibing with the boys and they all know that you want out.
Yeah. It's weird, right?
It's like being in a relationship where your chick's like, I'm going to be here until I find someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like awkward. Like, do you still like, is it kind of like how do you treat that? Do you treat it like one of those times where you got to fight with your boy? You see me and you're, hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I'm still all right, but fuck you.
Yeah, do you think they're trying to retain him? Like, do you think, do you think,
if it's a money issue, maybe, but I don't know his contract terms. But if he's requesting a trade, he's obviously been in talk with them. He's had to have said something. No way he just hits him out with a left hook, He's had to be like, hey, I want more time. I want more responsibility. I want the power play, whatever it may be. I don't know.
Could be on Boston, too. They could be, okay, sure, go look. Who knows? It could be both ways.
I know that. Krug, right?
Yeah. So it's definitely possible, but it's definitely interesting to see as well, especially in like how we both said, Boston, I still consider them a powerhouse of a team. Like they might be, back in 5th right now, but like I said, there's plenty of season left. And we know what, as you said, that trio, we know what they can do. We know what that squad can do.
Picked up Evander Kane. Moved to Brusque.
That'd be wild.
Wow. Taylor Hall.
That'd be like Kane. The home of the Misfits. Little misfit hockey team. I like that name. It's crazy. It's like we had that team before. Wow. That's all I've got for other than Ovechkin, just stealing star after first player of the week. This guy's setting records. He's having a career season.
Just had a hat trick with his son in attendance. That was so tight. Goes over to him to Sally.
Beautiful.
Like, oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah. Every guy's like dream, right? You know what I mean?
So
hockey guy anyway. Can you ever game the little Nucks? All the hats are flying. Heart wrenching
in the fields.
Heart wrenching. The Russian does have feelings.
Let's jump into the divisions, I guess, man.
It's division time. Let's rip into it. let's rip into it. We got some people moving around, some places moving around. I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to start out in the Atlantic like we always do, holding down, actually not holding down, claiming the number one spot right now. The Toronto Maple Leafs coming in at 16-6-1, dethroned the Florida Panthers from that one spot finally. Toronto, man, we talked about Matthews, Nylander, and you know, these guys. Is this are they coming together? They got Jack Campbell. We're making some moves here. Is this going to be another year that Toronto is going to go?
Yo,
is this going to be it, bro?
Speaking of Jack Campbell, Soup has been on fire as of late. 1.64 goals against, and then they got Wall too at 1.67. So yeah, definitely huge for the goaltending. I like it, dude. I mean, the question for me isn't what they can do in the regular season; it's what they can do in the playoffs. Like,
yeah,
they just have to. You expect them to finish top 4, which means you expect them to make playoffs. The big uncertainty is, even if they make it, can they make it past the first round? I mean, you look at they're getting goal scoring from who they're supposed to. You got Tavares with 10, Matthews with 10, Nylander with 9. Okay. You got your assists coming from Marner with 13, Tavares with 12, Nylander with 12. You know, your top guys, Tavares 22 points, Nylander 21 points, Matthews 19 points. This is good shit. These are the guys you wanted to see producing. You know, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I think it all comes down to the playoffs. And you know, we say they're in first place now, but let's be realistic. The Florida Panthers are right on their ass. The Florida Panthers beat the Washington Capitals tonight. That's 2 points. Boom, they're tied at 33.
Yeah.
And they're no longer in first. So they're not really stealing. They're not running away with it. They're still a toss-up. And after that, you know, it's not unrealistic. What if they go in a slump? You know, what happens? You know, then they're falling out.
Especially the way
they started, right?
I was gonna say, we've seen Toronto in the past, man. They come on so hot and then they fizzle out. So I don't know. As a Caps fan, we know what it's like to be in first place all year long. Mm-hmm. You know, getting the President's Trophy and then it mean nothing. Come week 1, come week 2. You know what I mean? Like it's wild. So I mean, this is something that in Toronto, do they have the curse? Is it real? We don't know. But I mean, Toronto is definitely going to be fighting back. And I mean, I definitely see them playoff. They're definitely going to be top 4 in this division for sure, in my opinion. But I don't know if they're going to have, you know, I'm liking Campbell there, though. That gives them a good opportunity. Campbell, Tavares is having a season. Morgan Riley's having a season. You already listed all the points and stuff like that. So, I mean, this team is having a season. They can keep it together.
Yeah. Coach, bench boss is saying it's just consistency. They stay consistent. I mean, obviously, you know, so we'll see what happens. But, you know, right on their ass, like we just talked about. Florida Panthers.
Yeah, Florida.
This is a hot team.
God, Florida's so hot right now.
They're so hot. Markov with 9 goals, Duclair with 9 goals, and then you got Huberdeau with 7. Huge shout out to fucking Duclair, the Duke.
Man,
big fan of it. Always have been. You know, my love for him grew after meeting Gooby and hearing a story with him and Duke, and just seeing him finally find a home and he's producing. It's so great to see. We know he's bounced around from team to team here and there, but they're getting it from all over as well. Ekblad 11 assists, Huberdeau 13, Forsling with 12. You know, these are great, and their goaltending, Bob, hasn't been stellar, but he's at a 2.03 with goals against. And then Knight at 3.0. Yeah, he's still a rookie. We'll give it to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, the Spencer Knight 5-3-1. I think Bob's like 9-1-2. So I mean, they're definitely having stellar seasons, in my opinion. I think this is, as we're watching the NHL change too, the scoring is, like we said, it's going to be harder to keep these goals against lower. You know what I mean? These guys are the best they've ever been. The talent in the league this year is through the roof. It's astronomical. So to have these guys hanging tight in there, especially Bobrovsky, and he's definitely a seasoned goaltender, you know, so to see him hanging tight in there, 9-1-2, not off to a bad start at all.
Nope, not at all.
Chasing the Florida, though, is another Florida team, the old Tampa Bay Lightning. Definitely a little bit of the Florida battle going on here. Tampa sitting at 12-5-3. Tampa, again, another team that's dangerous and is ready to move some positions.
Yeah, the missing link of Kucherov I think is still a huge role player. I mean, he's top 3 for me in the NHL. But they're still getting points from where they need it. Stamkos with 11, Killhorn with 8, and then Braden Point with 7. Braden Point also injured now.
Yeah,
arguably their best or second best player, depending on what time of the season it is, right? Right. Hedman also up there with 15 assists, Stamkos with 13 assists, and Killhorn with 10. And then it's the same for the points. Stamkos 24, Killhorn 18, Hedman 18. So they're not too spread out on the points production, but they're getting wins. We'll see how the season ends up. But as of right now, I mean, you can't count them out of the mix. 27 points, third place, and underneath of them isn't too hot. You have to assume these teams are going to make the playoffs in this division.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I was speaking of trailing. Holding the 4th spot down as the Detroit Red Wings as of right now. Kind of shocking to see them that high up, holding that number 4 spot. They're ahead of Boston. Like we were just talking all that stuff about Boston. To see Detroit ahead of Boston is bizarre, to be personal. Like to be honest,
over top of Montreal Canadiens, who made it to the Stanley Cup last year. It's crazy to see this division and the way it's shaking up to play out. But I don't know.
Bless you now. Bless you again. Woo! Back to back. Double barrel.
That was the Salts. It was the Salts pregame show. Salts.
Oh, yeah.
And, big fan of Detroit and what they've been able to do so far, because they're also missing players. They're missing Verona.
Yes.
They don't have a healthy roster. Larkin, though, with 10 goals and 19 points so far, you got to count on your captain, right?
For sure.
Huge that they're able to get points on secondary scoring, though, and refer to Tyler Bertuzzi, in fact, on that. 9 goals. Yeah. That's huge for the kid. 18 points so far. So I like it. Their goaltending isn't the best. I don't know if they have the what's the word? I was gonna say strength, but maybe the depth.
Right. I think it's the depth
to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And if they do make the playoffs, it's a first round sweep, whoever they're playing.
Ooh, the sweep. That's
if they make it. Call. You got to assume that Boston's going to turn it around here.
I was going to say Boston's 4 games behind and they 1 point behind, sitting back in 5th place here. So I mean that could literally be an 8-point swing. If they take the next 4, which is a big deal. So I mean, yeah, but Boston's sitting back here in 5th.
They're actually losing to the Red Wings right now. By the way, 1-0. Yeah, Boston, that is. So we have to see what's going on with this Boston team, man. They're really on the decline, it feels like.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to figure it out. Hopefully they figure it out. Actually, you know what? If they don't figure it out, I'm okay with them not being in the playoffs. I'm perfectly okay with that.
Fuck them.
Yeah, I'm perfectly okay with that. Bringing up behind Boston, we've got Buffalo in 6th, Montreal in 7th, and Ottawa holding down a heavy 8th place in the Atlantic Division.
Alex Tuch finally skating. First skate, I believe, with Buffalo since the trade for Jack Eichel. So they're expecting to get him hopefully in the lineup soon. I think that'll be huge for Buffalo because they've been in a lot of games. They beat Toronto, or no, they beat Edmonton, then had a back-to-back to Toronto and lost in the last third period with 0.5 seconds left. They compete with teams, and that's what they've got. They compete. That's how they're able to stay in these games. So if they can get a goal scorer, some leadership, I really think they can start to make a push, especially the way this division is, right? If Detroit is in 4th place, Boston's playing like shit, it's not unrealistic to see Buffalo maybe turn things around late.
I was going to say Buffalo is going to be the thorn in the paw in a lot of teams in this division because you can't count them out. Like they've got some grit there. You're right. They don't have the stellar goal scorer right now, which Tuch might be able to be that guy for them. But Buffalo, they're a grinding team, and they're still trying to. They got a lot to prove. It feels like out of Buffalo. So I definitely see them. They're going to be grinding. Like I said, they beat Edmonton. There's going to be some upsets. So they're definitely going to be the one to flip a game or two in this division.
Yep, definitely. All right, let's bounce around the league. Where are we going next?
Dude, rolling right into the Pacific because I want to talk about this. We got the Calgary Flames holding down the number 1 spot in the Pacific Division right now.
Yeah, only by 1 point over top of Edmonton, but I like the way the Calgary Flames have played so far. First of all, a historic team. I love the unis. They have so much culture with the Calgary, so I love watching their games. They've always got a sold-out barn. With the players like Gaudreau and Kachuk leading the team, they're a fun team to watch.
Yeah, they're a fast team too. Magnapane really coming on. We talked about him a lot last podcast.
Magnapane, yes. Yeah,
Magnapane. What I call him, Magnapane.
Magnapane, yes. Sounds like a dinosaur. 15 goals for Magnapane.
I was getting ready to bring your arms up.
You got me now. 15 goals for Mangiapane so far. Kachuk with 10 and Gaudreau with 9. Huge play from those boys. You got Lindholm with 14 assists. I like the way they played. Markstrom and Vladar both under 2.0 on goals against. Markstrom with a 1.75, Vladar 1.57. Huge.
Yeah.
Great goaltending.
Yeah, this team plays heavy. They play fast. They bring a solid forecheck. I'm a fan of their play of style, style of play. Man, this brain thing, bro. I've been working on these little games to like memory and like focus and stuff. Like I found this stuff on like Cranium. I'm just trying to get back on it, man. I feel like I'm not 100%. You know, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, like I enjoy watching Calgary play. They're one of the teams I don't get to catch a lot because they play a lot of late games. But it's a team I do enjoy watching. And as you said, following 1 point behind them in second place, the old Edmonton Oilers. And we know the show that's going on there in Edmonton. And boy, is it a show.
Yeah, it's the Draisaitl McDavid show. Draisaitl 20 goals, McDavid 14, coming up in third. Hyman with 9 points though. 40 points for Draisaitl, 36 for
dude.
McDavid. Are you kidding me?
40 points in 20 games. This guy's averaging 2 points a game.
15-5. Wow, leading the league. Like, how do you catch that? And now they got guys like Hyman who are, making a chase with, what's he got? 9 goals to McDavid's 14. So he's right up there in the mix. You got Nugent Hopkins with 18 assists compared to Draisaitl's 20 and McDavid 22. So they even got secondary now that's running up with them. They're going to keep the pace, boys. You got to eventually catch up.
Yeah. This is what they've needed. We've talked a while now that this is what that Edmonton's needed. We know they can't get it done with the 2 guys up front. They got to have some help there. You got Nugent Hopkins, like you said, Hyman, Tyson Barrie. I mean, this is a squad that could do it. They need a little help. They needed a little help in years prior. Their goals against right now, Mikko Kekkonen. Yeah, it's their goaltending is still on the rocks. Now, if Edmonton had someone like Jack Campbell, could you imagine, bro?
It'd be unstoppable.
Yeah, with putting up that many points a game, like, come on, bro, that's insane. So definitely going to be interesting to watch Edmonton as well. With, known for their playoff bust, but they're holding into the one of the top spots here in the Pacific. So, and again, another team that we talked about last week that's kind of shocking us in the division over here, the Anaheim Ducks. They're holding down the 3rd spot, 11-8-3. Anaheim coming on strong, man. They really are.
Yeah, a little late. Well, not late, I guess. It's still kind of early. It's only December, right? But you got guys starting to score out of nowhere and start producing. You got Troy Terry with 13, Zegras with 6. He's making a run. You got Getzlaf, 19 points already beat last season. Terry with 10 assists. This is huge. If they can keep this going, their goaltending hasn't been spectacular, but it's been good enough with Gibson. We'll see how the rest of the season plays out. We do have an Olympic break this season. So I think that's going to be a real
Did your brain freeze or did the stream freeze? I don't know what just happened. I was like, did he freeze? He's doing my brain does.
Froze. It's going to be a real what do I want to say here?
It's going to be a real
coin flipper.
I would say coin flip songs. I was going to say you got Getzlaf. Oh my God. You've got Getzlaf having a great season. You got the old ace in the pocket, Trevor Zegras. I mean, this guy's coming up. He's really making he's really making his mark here with Anaheim. And this guy the game winner he buried against the Capitals was absolutely insane. So the kid's got the ability. He can score from anywhere in between the dots. It's pretty wild to watch him handle the puck.
His
super creative,
growing every game.
Yeah, man, super. And he's getting along. It's great. He's getting the locker rooms there. He's such a chill young guy. You know what I mean? Everyone's giving him the rookie ship. He's like, fuck, I'm in the NHL, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm in the show.
Did you see his Spit and Chicklets episode?
I haven't got to watch the whole podcast yet. I'm a little behind.
The kid is playing center and he goes up. He's expecting to line up against McDavid. And it's Draisaitl. And so the boys had told him to bet $100 on win the faceoff. So he does it with Draisaitl. Oh, I think it starts with O'Reilly. He beats O'Reilly. O'Reilly pays him the next night on Venmo. So he does it again against Edmonton, against Draisaitl. And Draisaitl chirps him, do you even have enough money?
Right.
Like just the fact that that's the interactions he's having his rookie year with these players. That's huge. It's huge for his confidence level.
Yeah, not only that, but getting the game start, getting that first puck drop is pretty intense. That's one of my favorite things about the game is that initial puck drop, man. It really is. So the fact that Getzlaf's line is out there and Zegras' line is out there getting in the mix, that's got to mean something to the kid.
Yep, 100% agree with you there. We'll see if they can make the long haul.
Yep, no joke. Rolling right behind Anaheim, we got Vegas holding down that 4th spot. Vegas, man, I've got mixed feelings about this Vegas team. They're 12-9-0. I don't know what's going on with not that I don't know what's going on with this team, but I've got a lot of mixed feelings with this Vegas team. Everything's really spread around, and their goaltending is weird. You know what I mean? Like Robin Leonard, he's a weird for them to sign him like the way they did last year, and for everything to go down the way it did. I really thought he was going to be. I expected more out of Leonard as well. I mean, he's 9-8-0 on the year, so I mean, it's bizarre to see like they're letting him out there that much. I don't know. It's a weird setup to me.
They've definitely battled some adversity this season too, losing Stone, losing Pacioretty, injuries. They've now traded Tuch for Eichel. They're hoping Eichel's going to pay off big for them. I think they still have a team that can win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I mean, look right now. Who's their number one guy on points? Chandler Stevenson.
Oh, he was a huge role player in the playoffs before before. He's a great centerman. He's really developed since leaving Washington.
No joke.
It's not a huge thing to say, oh, Stevenson, because he's really grown up. We had Stevenson in Washington when he won the cup. He was a young buck still.
No joke.
He still could definitely be a top 10 player in the NHL the way he's developing. So the fact that
he's got some grit too, son. He's got some grit on him.
Yeah, and the fact that he's leading the team, and you still got Pacioretty, you still got Stone, you got Carlson, you got Eichel coming in.
Pietrangelo.
Yeah,
man.
You got players that can produce points. It's. I
forgot about Eichel.
Scary.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So we'll see.
That's going to be a scary squad when Eichel lands. Boy,
I can't wait to see him in the uni. It's what a beauty.
Yeah, like not like face swapped, but like really in there.
Yeah. It's crazy. It sucks we have to wait so long. So the anticipation is just killing me.
How do you think he feels?
Yeah, no shit. I can't wait till we get that text that is at morning skate. Oof, that'll be dope.
I hope he grows the fro out. I just really hope he grows I want to see the Jack Eichel fro in Vegas. I don't know why.
I love the fro. The little that's like the mullet fro.
Yeah, bro. Those curly locks. It's a thing of beauty. Holding down the fifth spot in the Pacific Division, we got the San Jose Sharks at 11-9-1. We talked a little bit about them earlier. Right behind them, we got the LA Kings. 7th, Seattle Kraken. Actually got out of the A spot. Vancouver Canucks are down there in the A spot, holding last in 7-14-2. I do want to touch on Seattle, though. They are making some moves. Looks like they've got some things put together. Maybe not much, but they're getting out of that 8th spot, which is good to see them making the move, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't get my hopes up for Seattle. I expect them to finish bottom 2.
No. Wait, you would expect them to see them there?
Yeah, in the bottom 2. I don't think they're going to do much. They're going to steal as many wins as they can, but come towards playoff time, I don't think they'll be in the mix.
I agree. Do you think Grubauer makes a move? Do you think anyone tries to go after him before the trade deadline or anything?
I don't think there's a single I don't think, other than like maybe Yanni Gordon Eberle, I don't think there's a single player on that team that's going to be there longer than 2 years.
Wow.
I just really do think they put together a team to be relevant, like to, have a team on the ice,
right.
But none of those players seem like long-term players. Like there's not a single player on that roster that I would sign long-term, except for maybe Gord. And that's only because he's won back-to-back cups and he's a gritty, but he's a second liner at best.
Right.
They don't have any real first-line talent. They're not scary at all.
Yeah, they don't have that star. They don't have that big star. I mean, Gord is one of their big stars, but
even like Eberle's kind of washed out. He had his years in Edmonton. He had his years with the Islanders, but he's never really been a huge goal scorer stud either, right? He's not a 50-point guy.
No, I agree.
You need a guy like that. You need a guy that can put up 50. You need that leadership in point production. So
it's not going to be Brandon Tanev. I mean, he had a great start to the season, but
he did, and we have to applaud his efforts for sure.
Oh yeah,
same for like Tyler Bertuzzi. These guys come out hot and they ride the wave. Good for them.
Yeah,
we all know the truth though. That shit's not going to stay consistent.
That was harsh, but yeah, I fuck with it.
Just is what it is. We're analyzing players for what they are. Like you've never had more than 15 points your entire career. You start off and you have 13 in the beginning. Like good year.
Right. I agree. They got some stuff to put together over there. Jumping over to the Central Division, though, I'm liking this number 1 spot in the Central. We got the Minnesota Wild holding down the number 1 spot at 14-6-1. Minnesota's low key dangerous, bro.
Yeah, they're a deadly squad, and you're not hearing much about Kiprusoff as I was expecting. But he's got 17 assists so far, followed it with Fiala with 12. Leading goal scoring, though, is kind of weak. Their top goal scorer, Hartman, with 12, Foligno with 8, and then Eriksson Ek with 8. So they don't have huge goal scorers. I do like the team, though. I like the team.
Yeah.
I like they win games. They got Talbot in net. I think this is a playoff team. I feel like they're also maybe, I don't know what it is, but I feel like there could be more. And that's the scary part.
Yeah. They really feel like they haven't hit their stride yet. And that's what's scary for sure.
You start getting Kiprusoff hot on goal scoring as well. Like, that's deadly, right? Because that's
Kiprusoff's the real deal too, bro. Like he's the real deal.
And then you got to expect he had a killer rookie year. It's a sophomore slump. It happens to the best, right?
Yeah. No joke.
If third year, fourth year, long-term deal, I think is great for Kiprusoff. I think he's going to really make a huge difference for that organization in the long term.
I completely agree. We're gonna stamp that over here at Men Behind the Mitts. Stamp, bringing in the second spot in that division. We've got the St. Louis Blues. Again, another dangerous squad, in my opinion. That could cause a ruckus come playoff time.
Yeah, definitely. Jordan Bensing's a nutcase between the pipes, but he can win games for him.
He can win games.
Been a real big fan of Kyrou. He's really been a great point producer for them as of late. And how do you not count on O'Reilly to really be there? Also a stud, one of my favorite players to watch play, just an all-around hockey guy. They have depth.
They do have they have a lot of depth in this roster, man. Brandon Saad.
I wouldn't consider them a cup contender, but they're definitely going to be a thorn in some people's sides when they come into the playoffs.
I think they're going to make waves. I think they're going to make some waves. They've been there before with most of this roster. I think they're going to make some waves. I wouldn't count them out yet, but I mean, they are losing to Tampa right now 3-0 in the first period, so that's kind of the big deal. But we'll get back to that.
Regular season, it doesn't matter, but it's definitely a small glimpse on how a team's producing at that point in time. And that's why, going into the playoffs, those last 2 months are huge. If your team's not hot come March, you're effed.
Yeah, no joke. And bringing in the third spot in that division, we've got the Winnipeg Jets. And I'm happy to see Winnipeg this high in the rankings. I think this is a team to be, a force to be reckoned with this year. Winnipeg is really bringing out. They're really showing up, and they really got a team put together here, and they're working well. Kyle Connor, really having a great start to the season.
Yeah, stud. They got Scheifele out there. They got Wheeler. They got Kopp. They have so much depth. Who's your boy that we talked about last episode?
Pierre-Luc.
Yeah, Luc Dubois. I think he won that trade. Winnipeg.
Yeah.
So he's played well. They're a deadly team. Also another team, though. What's going to happen in the playoffs? You make it, to all the way. Do they have the consistency to do it? I think Winnipeg does, honestly.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Winnipeg. You got different guys. Their goaltending is on par as well, but you got different guys racking up points here. Nate Schmidt having a season out there, former Capital. Nicola Ehlers, big fan of him. The guy can score almost anywhere in the dots, bro. Like this could be a team that can, not only be a thorn in the paw, but definitely turn some heads. I mean, they beat Edmonton, I think, the other night. So I mean, Winnipeg's got the gas. Did want to touch on their goalies though. Connor Hellebuyck over there, 2.60 goals against, 7.6-4, not having a fantastic go, but I mean, they're definitely, that's what I mean. There's room for improvement. And Eric Comrie as well, 3-2-0 goals against, 2.49. So there's definitely room for improvement on Hellebuyck. Not the best start to his season, but this is a goalie that's reliable and that can carry you to the playoffs for sure.
Yeah. The goaltending situation has been a little shaky. I definitely expect more out of Hellebuyck, but see, that's why we can't get too far ahead of ourselves.
Right.
These guys can turn around and go on a stretch just like that.
Yeah.
And he can make a Vezina season still,
Absolutely. And coming in right behind Winnipeg, it's good to see them moving up the rankings. Here's the Colorado Avalanche holding down the 4th spot, 11-6-1. It's good to see them making a move in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what happens with them. I've kind of not lost hope in them, but I expect it more. I'm not going to lie.
I think they're working some stuff out. I think they're working some things out. It's wild to see Kadri leading the points on that team with 27 points. Cale Makar coming in second with 20 points, and Landeskog with 20 points as well. It's wild to see Kadri leading this squad, especially with the firepower between Makar and Landeskog. It's crazy to see Kadri up here at the top.
Yeah, 100%. I wanted to touch on this. I forgot to bring it up with St. Louis. Buchnevich. I really thought he'd be a more producing more points with St. Louis. Kind of disappointed. Hopefully he can get it going. I mean, listen, maybe he's filling the role he was hired to do, but I expected him to be much more of a point producer.
Yeah, he was a big name out in New York, so it's wild to see him coming here and not having the headline. You know what I mean? Not being someone they talk about, or not someone who's putting up all the action. But no, I agree. I feel like he's got to find his groove with the team, and once he does, that's another guy who's they've got some depth. You know what I mean? That's another guy who can put some points and be a real impact on the ice. So I think that can he's a game changer for that squad. But yeah, good to see Colorado making the move, holding the fifth spot though. We got Nashville 11-9-1. And we can't count Nashville out because they're actually tied in points with Colorado, and Winnipeg's only 1 point ahead them, and St. Louis is 1 point ahead that. So we got a tight points run over here in the Central.
Points and they jump up 2 spots. So yeah, tight race in the Central Division, and you don't have to be the best team in the league to make the playoffs. You just have to be the top 4 in your division. So
absolutely
battle.
And coming behind Nashville, Dallas Stars have been on a tear as well. 10-7-2, 22 points. They're 1 win. They're 1 win away as well. So there's definitely a good battle out here in the Central. I think Dallas was going for 5 straight, if I remember correctly. So I mean, it's good to see the guys out there getting on a roll. Holt having some good games. I finally got to see Holt playing well out there in Dallas. I feel like he's had such a rocky go at it, man. Ever, Washington, Vancouver, and now out here in Dallas, he's had a weird run as well.
Yeah, well, he wasn't the greatest starting off for Washington. It took him a few years, but he really became our number one, and we all fell in love with him. So the 1-year contracts for him, I think, aren't great. I think he's maybe a goaltender that needs to get in and get comfortable. Could take him a season or 2.
I agree. I mean, and once he's there, he can be your guy. That's the thing. He can be the guy. We've seen it. The save is what got us where we were. It got
goalies are similar to like pitchers in baseball, though. You got to ride them while they're hot, and they could be the best league and the best player in the league 1 year and be not even make a team the following year. It's crazy.
Irrelevant.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. And rounding out the Central, we got Chicago down in 7th at 7-12-2, and 8th is Arizona Coyotes here at 5-15-2. So that rounds out the bottom of the Central. You expect anything else more out of Chicago? I mean, you expect them to make a little push here in the end, or what's going on?
No, I don't know what's going on. Listen, I think they could still make a push. I think they could fight for that number 4 spot. But they got a lot of shit to work out over there, dude. A lot of shit. And I've heard a lot of speculation about Taves and Kane maybe being traded and this and that.
Wow.
They have so much off ice drama going on with the allegations and everything like that. So it's just a tough time for Chicago fans. And it sucks that Fleury is hopefully not going to end his career this way.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope he doesn't go out. I actually kind of hope he gets traded. I really hope he does, or just makes some. I mean, I feel like he's still, even when people mentioned retirement after Vegas, I was like, this guy's still got it. He's still got some years.
I think if Chicago's bottom 2 come trade deadline, and he knows he's doesn't have much left in the tank, he's going to request a trade to a team there he can try to win a cup again one more time.
Oh, for sure. And he's still a great addition to any squad as well.
Squad. Fleury, like I said, I'd take him for Washington all day.
Yeah, he's just having a tough beat out there in Chicago. I mean, he doesn't look like Fleury sometimes. Like he's kind of, you can tell he's more of an emotional goaltender this year. Maybe it's because of the move and going to Vegas and getting as far as they did with that squad, and then making the jump over to Chicago and all the stuff going on. Man, it's like you said, there's a lot of off ice stuff going on over there for sure. But let's make the move, to my favorite division and probably the best division in the NHL right now, the Metropolitan.
Metro booming.
And not only that, we've got a new number 1 in the Metro. That's right. The Carolina Hurricanes have been bumped. The Washington Capitals are in the number 1 spot. 14 wins, 3 losses, 5 overtime losses, 33 points on the board for the boys. Let's go, Caps.
Missing TJ Oshie, missing Nicholas Backstrom, missing Anthony Mantha. What?
Who else? I mean, we've had so many young names putting
7 rookies get their first career point this season.
Yeah, I was going to say Yeah, a lot of rookies coming in, making and fighting to keep their names in this roster or on the bubble.
I think that's huge too. Like you have these guys, these young rookies just getting pulled in, and it's not like they're just getting pulled up, getting beat up, and then sent back down. They're coming in and having an instant impression. You got players playing on the first line with Ovi and producing points. Like this is huge. We have a huge rotation now. Once we get the boys back, knowing that we have guys that are rookies down in the minors that can come up and have produced. That's big because think about how many players bounce on their two-way contract up and down,
right?
Never producing a point. Seasons sometimes,
Yeah,
and they don't produce a single point in the NHL, even though they're leading the league in the AHL. It's crazy how it works sometimes. So we've been blessed.
Yeah, no joke. And there's two names I really want to touch on that are having absolute seasons on this squad. First off, you guys already know Alexander Ovechkin. Setting a career year. I mean, this guy is tearing through this season. 19 goals, 18 assists. He's 37 points on the season.
He's on pace for 70.
Yeah.
Like 126 points. At 36, that would be a career high.
Yeah, no joke. And so I mean it's hard not to talk about Ovechkin and everything that he's doing right now. And I can't believe it's so crazy. Everyone just wanted to downplay him. I was a part of that crowd. And just to see him having the season that he is, it's insane. But the person I want to talk about who's right behind him in points, Evgeny Kuznetsov.
Top 10 in the NHL right now.
Top 10 in the NHL, 2018 vibes. This guy has found the stride and glide. His head is on a swivel. He is making it happen for the Capitals right now.
Yeah, it's so much fun to watch. The team feeds off his vibe. When Kuzi's out there having fun, joking around on the bench, having a good time and producing, the rest of the team follows suit. And that when you have him combined with TJ Oshie on the bench and in the locker room, that's so huge, bro. That's so huge. And so when the Caps can start building, the fact that they got first place and they've done it with missing arguably their top players. I mean, Ovi and Kuzi, are up there, but after that, it's dead. Like you got
drop off.
You're not taking Willie over Mantha. You're not taking Willie over Nicky. You're not taking Willie over TJ. So those three guys are above Willie and Willie's first line. You know what I'm saying? So it's huge. So we get those guys back. I say the Washington Capitals get those guys back into the lineup with this team carrying them on their back essentially at the beginning of the season. That's huge. They got their injuries out of the way where a lot of teams maybe face it
hopefully
mid-season or towards the end. Caps get it done early. This could be huge for them.
Yeah, definitely.
I called it right. I said it. This is their year. I said they could win this year. I still feel that way. The way they're playing, the weak bone for the Washington Capitals. This one will be a little bit longer than the rest of the teams we talked about. Is the goaltending.
Yeah, I was going to say we got to touch on the goaltending. That's the only, even with that being a weak spot. I mean, even between Vanacek and Samsonov here. I mean, Vanacek 4-3-4 overtime losses, goals against is 2.54. It's still not terrible.
Sophomore. He had a great rookie year. It's a sophomore slump. Everyone wants to hound him. It's his second year in the season, bro. I mean, second season in the league. Like you can't harp on. Not every goalie is going to come in and be a stud first year all the way through. Look at Carter Hart. Everyone goes through these slumps, right? We see these rookies that come in, they play great, and then they go through a little bit of a slump. I think Vitek, we got to ride him out and see what happens. If we rode out Sammy this long, why not, right?
Well, what's crazy is look, Sammy's 9-0-1. Goals against is 2.27. This guy hasn't caught a loss in regulation. It's insane. And we talk about how and we talk about and I feel like we're very opinionated on Samsonov and how we're not fans of him. But
we know a lot of, wrecked a four-wheeler, caught COVID intentionally, not intentionally, but he broke protocol to hang out with friends, like, and then caught COVID. Like, he's just made bad off-ice decisions.
Well, maybe he's buckled down this season. Maybe this is his season.
I don't know. We'll see. But listen, I'm not opposed to making a trade with him if he gets hot and riding him out. You know what I'm saying? I would I would rather have maybe a Matt Murray or a Fleury or somebody come in. We know those guys can win. Samsonov has never won a Stanley Cup. Matt Murray has. Matt Murray also is playing in behind a fucking arguably one of the worst teams in the league. So there's so many arguments. We have a great team. We have great top three defenders. Like
I think our defensive core in general is solid. I mean, we have our top three, but I mean, even guys, TVR, Jensen, I mean, they're having seasons. These guys are all having seasons.
Jensen and leading the league almost with a plus minus. Like, come on. The guy had wheels last night. He was heavily involved. Like, not last night, the other night, but you're seeing great things out of our defensive pairings.
Yes. I completely agree. Him and Orlov, it's actually been, I was nervous about the Orlov-Jensen pairing, and that's actually turned out to be one of my favorite pairings on the ice. I'm not going to lie. Watching these guys get pucks on net, they're both heavy shooting. Jensen's shot, I mean, can you ask for much better of a shot from a defenseman? Mm-hmm. It's insane. And then you got Orlov dropping clap bombs. I mean, this I'm a fan of that defensive pair, for sure.
Jensen really caught stride and hit a growing step, having a full season with Chara.
Yeah.
And then that's what those 1-year deals with those kind of guys do. You want to bring them in to help them win a cup, but at the same time, if they can come in and bring some type of leadership role where they influence the players in the locker room, that's huge. And that's what we needed with Lundqvist. Sammy would be a completely different goaltender right now.
Wow.
Vitek would be having probably his rookie year this year. Different things would have played out differently. Now, instead, we have two goalies that one's going through a sophomore slump and the other is missing the Russian gas. But
are you recording the game?
On it. No.
Are you recording the game?
No.
Jensen just scored as we're praising him. Jensen just nets one against Panthers.
We're manifesting
it's a great
this
example
shit for him.
Yeah. It's a great example.
What's the score?
4-1 Caps.
Versus Florida, folks. Versus Florida. They're not
Here we
beating...
go. Sorry, continue.
I was just going to say, they just beat Florida at home. Then they beat Carolina. Both teams who started off the season, 10-0 plus. And now they're playing Florida again and winning 4-1, missing all those players and having sketchy goaltending. This is huge.
Yeah. Also, as I'm going to ride your excitement right now because I just got another tweet. Brendan Lemieux has been suspended 5 games for biting Brady Tkachuk. No. 5 games, bro. I just saw and I was like, this is unbelievable.
So that means they verified the bite. There had to be some type of impression or something. Wow.
There was obviously evidence to pursue it and then not overturn it. So that's insane. Wow. I mean, I don't see how you, as we talked about it earlier, I don't know how you would have it on camera other than the moment where Brady's hand gets covered and then you see his face. Like there is a reaction.
The thing. Let's say me and you we're grappling. We're on the ice. We're still getting a couple chucks here and there when we can. But like if I'm chirping you while you hit me, like fuck you, and your knuckle goes into my mouth while I'm talking because my mouth is open, like it could feel like I'm biting you, right? Wouldn't you say? If I'm talking, I feel like if he bit him, he would have drew blood. Think about it. He's a grown man biting someone. Like, come on.
Yeah, if you're gonna bite,
not
you
a baby nibbler. Like, come on, dude. If he bit him and he couldn't even figure out where the mark was, so obviously, that's
what's weird.
Let a baby bite your hand and tell me that a grown man biting you wouldn't hurt more. Come on.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah. Sketchy. 5 games seems like a bit. Because
that's excessive to me.
Yeah.
That's excessive.
Considering a slew foot gets you 2 or 3. That's
you can end someone's career with a slew foot.
I'll bite. Oh,
just go get it.
Don't bite.
Just go get a tetanus shot. That's for rust.
I get it though. Like they're trying to keep that shit out of the game, like biting.
For sure.
But like, come on.
All right, let's get back on track here. Metro. Yeah. Let's get back to the Metro. We've touched a lot on the Capitals.
End of the Capitals rant.
What's big? It's only like he's wearing a flag and I've got a Capitals hoodie on. It's not like it's our favorite team or anything. Rolling into the second position here in the Metropolitan, Carolina at 15-4-1, 31 points.
They're scary.
Yeah, the surge is real. The surge is real. Carolina is they're not messing around this year. Carolina's here. I think they're trying to solidify them being in the top of the Metro division because Carolina. There's a good rivalry between Carolina and the Capitals. We talked about that in the past.
For past few seasons. Yeah. Well, for a while.
So to see them, holding them once they were 10-0. I mean, you know what I mean? This is a dangerous squad. They've got a lot left to do here. Plenty of season left. A lot of guys having a good season too. Aho, Svechnikov, D'Angelo. This is low key a dangerous squad. Not low key, high key. They are holding first and 10-0.
D'Angelo is a huge signing for Carolina. He's up there in points for him. That's huge. Coming off a year of no hockey, that's huge. I think that's a great move for them. But man, Aho, Svechnikov, they have so much skill. Nishi? Also a great player. They have so much talent. Is it Teravainen?
Yep, he's in there.
Capo Kikkonen. Is that no?
No, it's Jesperi. I know you're talking. I can't pronounce his name. Jesperi Kokinen.
Yeah,
that's a long one.
Player they picked up from Carolina. Listen, I'm not.
Yeah,
I do this for a living. I'm not.
And they got. I forgot they had Nino Ryder. Man, they have a Martin Nook. They've got some depth. Derek Steppen. They've got some depth on this squad.
Not to backtrack here, but this is why I'm saying why the Capitals are so good. They're so depleted and they're beating these great teams. Carolina is a good team. Carolina is a cup contender team. I would put them, if we had to pick 4 teams going right now, Florida, Carolina, Washington, Toronto. I
like it.
Those are the teams you would kind of pick if you had to pick 4 based off how teams are playing. You can't leave Florida. The way they started off, and Carolina was right there with them. What did they get up to? Were they 11-0, 12?
I think they were 10-0.
10-0, and then it ended.
Yeah. Yep, I think so.
Rod Brindamore and what he does for this team, who also just got fined, by the way, for the shit that happened in the Caps. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, I wanted to touch on Anderson as well. Anderson's a big stopping point.
Oh yeah, Freddie Anderson coming over from Toronto, it was huge.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, he's definitely making an impression out here in Carolina, carrying the guys here. 11 wins, 4 losses, 1.98 goals against. I mean, he's really standing on his head for this club. And he's going to be one of the big difference makers for this club as well. So making that playoff push. But I do want to touch on Brindamore, like you said, $25,000 fine. I believe that's what he got. Just for jaw jacking, really just hounding the referees for an explanation, and he wasn't given one. So I do see why he went to that extent. Obviously, we don't know what was said. I'm sure choice words were said, and we know how the refs talk to players and coaches. So to see that fine chucked so easily and so fast, it's kind of shocking.
Yeah, they're trying to put people in their place. You're not above the league. Respect.
Yeah, I think I feel like they're trying to. I feel like if they're just trying to prove, if they're just trying to make some points here with some big fines, like the Marchand with the slew foot, this Brendan Lemieux 5-game suspension, like this is all happening at once. I feel like everyone gives Department of Player Safety shit, and then out of nowhere we get all these fines. It's wild.
Yeah, like they're compensating or something.
Right, trying to make up for some other things.
Yeah, who knows?
Bettman.
We'll see how that goes. Let's go back. Where are we at on third place in this division?
Third place, we got New York Rangers at 13-4-3. In New York, we talked about last year was a team to be reckoned with, and they're right back in the mix again this year.
They need their goaltending to be a little more consistent, I think. But the Zibanejad, Kreider, these guys are all pretty.
Kreider's having a season.
Big fan of Kreider. Yeah. Panarin, these guys are getting it going. I want more out of Lafreniere. I mean, it's a number 1 pick. You gotta want more, right? But
I feel like he's finding his place in the league. I feel like there was a lot of pressure on him, number 1. And then, man, the word bust being thrown around is just so aggressive. I don't think he's a bust, man. I just feel like he's finding his spot on this league. You're playing with guys like Kreider and Panarin. Adam Fox is stealing some spots, lights out there in New York. So he's got a solid roster to compete with out there. Yeah,
and you're not going to hear me say this ever again, and I've never said it before, but I think the pickup of Ryan Reeves for the New York Rangers was huge. I really do. He's really brought in a presence that makes it easier for the players to kind of have more space out there, and it's a good fit. It really is. I hate to say it, but I'm not a fan of Ryan Reeves at all, but it's a good fit.
Yeah, and as we learned of last year too, they got manhandled, by more than just the Capitals. So they definitely added some size to that roster. Reeves being a big one out there to maybe calm everyone else down when they're playing them. So you're right. It's a good fit for him. It's a good, and what's wild? I'm not a Reeves fan, but it looks like he's having fun with this squad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's smiling a bit more. I don't know. Maybe if he's just fallen on this part of his career where he really knows his role and he's just trying to be an enforcer out there, but he looks like he's having a little more fun this season. No joke.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. If a guy could start maybe producing some points, you could see why a lot of fans, especially the blue shirts, would fall in love with him.
Right. No joke. And I do agree with your, I think you mentioned it earlier with the goaltending for the Rangers between Saskirchen and Georgiev. They're really not the best duo here. Shurskin in here 11-3 and 2 goals against 2.22. So almost to that 3-goal mark, when you're going out there and you're in a 3-goal deficit, you're going to have to score more than 3. Makes it rough on the team.
The fact that he's at almost that 3-0 mark, goals against average, but still pulling out 11-3 record says a lot about the guys in front of him.
Absolutely, and this is why I think the Rangers are a team to be reckoned with. Bringing in that 4 spot, we got Pittsburgh at 10-7-5. Pittsburgh could be making some moves or holding on to that 4 spot right now without Gino. Crosby's not really playing like Crosby. I don't know what to expect from this Pittsburgh team, but they're in the 4 spot right now and not having a stellar year at 10-7-5. I'm sorry, and they can be right up in the top 3, top 2 mix almost at any time.
Yeah, I hear you. A lot of people now starting to have this argument, bring this argument back up of Ovi versus Sid, the way Sid's been playing as of late, and then now the way Ovi's been playing as of late.
Yeah.
Tough argument to have considering the concussions and shit that Sid's gone through. He missed a few, almost this full season, right? Because
after dealing with a concussion as an adult, like for real, they fucking suck. So you know what I mean? And for someone to be that talented and to constantly be targeted and stuff like that. And he is still one of the top, he's still in my top 5, top 10 of all time. You know what I mean? And then to see him come back and just, I don't know if it's the team or just him not, you know what I mean? Getting everything back in the line, but it's definitely something as an adult to come back from that's different. Having that concussion, that head trauma is wild.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see where they end up, but I definitely see them making a playoff push.
Yeah, they're far from done. That's for sure.
It's going to be hard this year, though. When you have teams like Carolina and the New York Rangers playing the way they're playing, it's going to be hard in this division.
Yeah, no joke. And then bringing up, I do want to talk about them as well in the 5th spot. We got the Columbus Blue Jackets holding down the 5th spot here. I mean, this is another team that can cause a ruckus. I'm sorry.
I was just commenting. They've been playing well.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. And this is a team I think that is going to be a bubble squad that's going to give you the loss when you least expect it, and they might even jump up into that top 4 mix. Who knows?
Yeah, they could definitely do it. They have the talent. I'm a big fan of Max Domi. I'm a big fan of Texterier. Who else? Line.
Boone Jenner.
Yeah, Boone Jenner. They have these guys that could really make things happen. We'll see where it goes. It's a new age though. It's first season without Torts, so we'll see.
Yeah.
If, maybe this is just what's to come. Maybe more players will be willing to come to Columbus now that they have different coaching. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
No joke. And rounding out the bottom of the Metro Division here, we got New Jersey Devils in 6 at 9-6-4, Philadelphia Flyers in 7 at 8-8-4, and the New York Islanders, kind of a shock, holding down the A spot at 5-10-2.
Yeah, they fell off hard, and I don't know what happened because they started off pretty decent. I thought they were going to be a team to be reckoned with, and this division really puts you in check. You can't slouch.
Fast. Yep. I completely agree. Yeah, and it is kind of odd to see the Islanders sitting so low and holding down the last spot here in the Metro, just not getting a lot done, just not a lot of production coming from this squad. That they're not really Brock Nelson, Barzell. I mean, they're really not firing on all cylinders over here.
Yeah, Barzell really hasn't been that flashy Barzell that we've seen here recently. And we say all this with the mentions of look what Pittsburgh went through. They lost both,
right?
All 3, Letang, Gino, and Sid at one time. Like so many different things have happened to so many different teams, but yet they've battled this adversity. And then you have the Islanders who are just slumping.
For sure, man. I agree. That rounds out the Metro, and that pretty much brings a wrap through the NHL. Where our hearts lie with the number 1 team in the Metro Division, doing some big things right now, and with some whack goaltending. There's definitely a lot of teams in this league that are going to be making some moves. None of this is set in stone, that's for sure. But I can't believe you said it earlier. Like, we're already in December. I was like, holy shit, we're in December, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, it's December. Like, when this episode drops, we'll be in December.
Wild, right?
This year is a blink of an eye, son. It's crazy.
Yep. No days off. You really can't take no days off.
Especially the way we're finishing out the year. Let's make a transition over here. We talk about no days off. You haven't had a day off in what, 50? You got to be up
53 days.
53. I mean, I feel like you're over here scratching into the wall. Like,
that's what I was just picturing in my head.
Yeah, no joke. Day 53, looking like a champ. How you feeling? You doing all right? I mean, everything still. You said you got a little wrist injury off air. Battling through that a little bit. I hurt the wrist, so I haven't been able to do any push exercise. So I've been mainly doing home workouts, the full body workout, shoulder press, things that are light workouts to kind of not injure it, but to make sure I'm getting a good workout still. Because days I don't work out, I know it. I feel like shit, mentally and physically. The day now when if I don't work out,
I feel like shit. So like and that's why I'm working out no matter what now. Like I was so used to going at 5 a.m. So the days where I don't go at 5 and it's like now 6, 7 o'clock at night, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't know why I didn't go this morning. I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm now having to get it in last minute. I've had a couple of days like that where I'm like waiting till the last minute before bed to get my workouts in. And it's like, nah, I need to stick to the regiment.
I did that on Thanksgiving, which is funny. So I'm on day 8, feeling good, little sore, not a little sore, a lot of sore. It's definitely an adjustment. Think I tweaked my left shoulder, battling through that. But yeah, so Thanksgiving, we got up a little late. We stayed up a little late. Well, I had that roller hockey tournament pre-Thanksgiving night. Got out of there. Oh my gosh, there's so much I have to tell you about. We'll have to remind me to come back to that. So had the pre-Thanksgiving tournament, slept in a little bit. Thanksgiving morning, got up late, had to make the rounds. I was like, I really need to get up and get my workouts in before I leave this house. Didn't happen. So I went to 2 Thanksgivings and then got home at 7 o'clock at night and was like, time to crank out 2 workouts, time to get 2 workouts in here. Ejectocito cuz on all of the Thanksgiving dinner. So at least I didn't hold on to those calories, which is nice. But I started working out, got on the spin bike, got like 20 minutes in, and I started sweating. I had the resistance up, and I was like, oh boy, I taste turkey. And next thing you know, boy, she gone.
Damn.
So that was a wild thing. That never post Thanksgiving. I was very upset with myself, and then powered through. It was pretty rough. But I got to jump back. So we had the pre-Thanksgiving tournament. Number one, it should not have been called a tournament. I went into this tournament, fucking lock, cock, ready to rock. Me and Stevie on the team. I was like, we're going in there. We're going to win this fucking thing. Should not have treated it as a tournament because I know who's in this league. You know what I mean? I know what was in this league. And I may have yelled at 2 players, one specifically pretty bad on the bench, because let me just break it down. Roller hockey's 4-on-4, right? Me and Stevie were playing together as a defensive pair because it's just kind of how it has to go.
That's rough.
2 other people that were on our line were standing in the crease of the opposing goaltender, and we were playing 2-on-4.
Wait, what?
And I was
like, while you're in your own zone, or while
like zone? Trying to get out of the zone, they're just standing there, and I'm like yelling. I got a little wild, but I'm like, you guys have got to fucking move your feet. Like I'm like yelling, and everyone's like laughing because this is a small place. Like it's not a big place. I'm like, will you fucking move? Like I'm like yelling at these guys. I'm like, oh my god, you know how I get. I don't go to play. Who goes to lose? Not me, dog. So I was like, y'all have got to move your fucking feet. Like I'm like yelling at these guys. We get to the bench. The guy has the audacity to go, well, I was waiting for you to shoot it. We're playing defense. I lost it, bro. I lost my shit. I was like, what the fuck oh my God. I went off on him the whole time we were on the bench. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, you're leaving us. Ow, I just punched the shit on the wall. I was like, you're leaving us out to fucking dry. I was like, me and him are playing defense. You're up there standing, waiting for us to shoot it. We can't even get the puck. And I just went off, and he was like, and oh man, it was a wild exchange. I haven't yelled at a grown man in a long time. And I was like yelling at this man. I feel a little bad after the fact, but in the moment I was like, he's like, you need to chill out. This is for fun. I was like, I didn't come here for fun. I came here to fucking win. Like and Steve was just on the bench. Like he's just sitting there next to me, just laughing. He's like, what the fuck, man? I may have called him useless. I don't know. That might be, Steve said I did that. I don't know. Your Honor, we'll just remove that off the docket, but it was a wild. I was in true form. I was in hockey mode, and this guy was bullshitting me, and you don't bullshit me. You know what I mean? Like,
so let's backtrack a little more here. I want to dive deeper into this. You said you shouldn't have treated it as a tournament. What was the vibe other than you? Just there to play hockey and just. Oh,
there was teams there to like. We were there to win. Like I was there.
So there was other teams that were there competing and playing hard and taking it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when you said, "Oh, I shouldn't have treated it like a tournament," I was like, "Oh, was it just a bunch of guys getting together to have fun?"
That's what I mean.
And
Next
you went
time
in headstrong, and you're the try hard. But if you weren't, and
I
there's other teams,
always try hard.
of
When
course,
do I
me
not try
too.
hard?
Stick and puck. I don't give a fuck. Free skate.
But this is it. That's what I have to remember with this league. I just gotta maybe not do that. I just need to go. I don't have an expectation of losing. I don't go into anything saying, "Oh, I guess second place isn't too bad." No.
I hope I get the puck and score tonight.
We fucking win, or we die trying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how to not.
Did you catch any grief from that shit from anyone else? Like, hey, buddy.
No.
Good for you.
I didn't apologize. I left it as is. And you know what's funny? Randy was there. Randy came and watched the tournament, and he was like, "Why are we yelling at that guy?" I was like, "Because he wasn't fucking moving. Like, everyone could hear me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was yelling at this guy, and he was like, "Hey, the next shift he skated harder." I was like, exactly why I went off on him, because I needed him to do something, and he was doing nothing. Like the bare minimum below that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, bro, like we're just skating circles, chasing guys. And you're, I was hot, bro. But he did skate harder. I will give him that after I absolutely laid into him.
Wow.
He did skate harder.
Coach Jay, way to go. Way to go, Tourny.
Come on, man. I was hot. I'm out here trying. I'm not, dying. It's roller. Yeah. It's roller hockey. Like, but I did get to play ice, which was fun. So I did get to play ice this weekend. Yeah. So that was nice. 3-on-3, nothing special, kind of garbage, but hey, had a blast. It was good. Ice. Yeah, it was. Dude, that was the first time since August, I think. So it was really nice to be on the ice, shooting the puck, fucking around with the dangles, like just having a good time. Oh, it's so much better. The skating, the transitioning, the passing, the shot. Oh, I miss shooting ice puck. Hockey. Yeah, but I did break another stick, so I'm stickless. Which is what I wanted to talk about. I just ordered 2 new twigs today.
Oh, like right before, break it down. What did we get?
Like right before I came back here, like right before we started the pod. So I was torn between the 3N Pro, the Bauer, the Nexus 3N Pro, which is like the 5-sided stick. Have you felt one of those yet?
No.
Incredible, by the way. Yeah. Incredible. I was torn between the 3, but I'm not a 3N Pro player. Like, that's a $240 stick. I don't need that. I'm not a top tier player. You break sticks. Yeah, no way. Easy guy. I haven't broke sticks in like 4 years. These two I've had these sticks for 2 years. I'm surprised you haven't had new twigs yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
don't say that. Okay. I love my twigs. I don't want to.
I know, but I'm just saying that, especially with what you use, you know what I mean? I'm surprised they've held up, because, I'm also heavy on my sticks. I'm a heavy shot. I've got concrete hands. I'm pretty abusive on my sticks, but, I was torn between the 3N Pro. Obviously didn't want to spend 3N Pro money. And then it really came down to me between the 3N, which is it's heavier than the 3N Pro, and then the Nexus Team sticks. Have you seen those? The Nexus Team Pro Stock sticks? Mm-hmm. Basically, it's what they give to guys that have Bauer deals on sticks. You know what I mean? So lock them up for the cheap, lock them up for the low on 130. For the Nexus team, same kick point as the S2. So that was another reason why I went with that nice mid kick point, me and my wrister. So I went there. Also changed the blade. I'm a P92 user. I made the move to P28. I'm going all toe.
Really?
Yeah. Multiple conversations between me and Warren and me and Steve, and just I shoot off the toe. That stick's meant for toe shooters. Why not give it a shot?
It sounds like you got a deadly lineup there.
So I'm looking forward to it. It's always nice to get new twigs in the mail. You're
gonna have to put in some work firing with that stick, though.
What do you mean?
With it, you know what I'm saying? The different toe.
Yeah, it's going to be an adjustment.
Yeah.
I remember the last time I used a P28, I shoot a little high. So I know it's just because the curve is different. So the release point's a little different. So
curves in years. Whoa.
Yeah, it's an aggressive move to buy 2 like that. So I'm really hoping. I always buy twinsies. I always buy my pairs. So I'm just hoping that it works out. If not, I just put them back on sideline swap, and I'll buy 2 more, I guess.
Interesting.
I'm hoping I
like
them.
You didn't consider the Vapors, eh?
No, I did, but the price point's not there. And the fly light, I'm too heavy of a player, I think, to use a fly light, especially on that like 87. I just don't trust myself. That's what I wanted to get. I wanted fly lights for roller, but I didn't want to do it to myself because I knew if I broke that or someone broke it, I would murder them.
Pissed, right? Yeah.
So yeah, and that's the thing. And I'm heavy on the stick check, and I'm heavy on the bottom stick. I'm playing a lot of defense as well. So I feel like, making the move to the fly light's a weird move, but it was nice to. Well, we didn't get to play really offense, but it was nice to be in an offensive mindset on ice hockey. Like I truly miss that. Like no joke. And corners, like I haven't played in a real rink in so fucking long. Like to have a corner and glass. I haven't even seen glass. We have nets. We have netting. Like it's such a man. I don't even want to. I'm so happy to play ice hockey. It was really, it was good.
I hope you can get something going and start playing ice again.
Yeah, it was good for my soul. But that's the thing is the league down here, it's down to 2 teams. Like I was like, I'm not doing this again. Like we did this all every time. Like we always play the same team.
No one from our entire team plays, right?
Robin D.
Though, right?
Yeah. And they asked if we were going to play. And I was like, I can't. I'm not signing. Not for how much. It was dumb expensive, like over 500. Like, yeah. To play the same team every week for 20 weeks. Like, what are you doing?
It's 500 for me. I got jerseys and socks, and there's 10 teams. Like, they keep track of stats. Like, it's legit.
I saw Stat Guy. I saw.
I haven't had my stats tracked in so long. And so I
right?
I was like, what?
Yeah, usually it's a guess.
I tallied up some more last night. So yeah.
Nice.
Oh man, I wish you guys could play ice. Part of me.
Yeah. It'll happen. I'm okay. That's why I'm okay with it because I know it will happen. You know what I mean? So I'm okay with it. But I do want to jump back to pre-Thanksgiving. I've got a story to tell.
Okay.
So pre-Thanksgiving, it's 12:15 in the morning, 12:15 a.m., just broke midnight. Me and Stevie are walking out to the truck from the tournament. And I look at Steve and I go, hey, man, just so you know, I have a feeling we're going to get pulled over tonight. Like, I have a feeling we're going to get pulled over. My tag lights are out on my pickup. And I was like, I have a feeling we're going to get pulled over. It'll be fine. No, neither of us have been drinking. It's not a big deal. So literally leave the rink. First thing I see when I leave the rink is a car pulled over with a state trooper. I'm like, damn. I said, they're even back here. Like, this is crazy. Man, we're going down the road. We're talking. And I mean, this fucker rolled up on us. I was like, damn. I was like, this guy was moving. I was like, I wonder if it was that cop. Like, but I didn't recognize the headlights. The headlights it looked like a truck and the headlights were different. And I was like, maybe it's the cop, maybe not. Anywho, I guess I was talking to Steve. We just played 5 games of hockey. I guess I wasn't driving the best. So we come to a red light. We turn on 301 or Route 5. Bam. He lights me up. I was like, damn. I was like, I knew we were going to get pulled over, but I didn't know that was a cop. Right. So we pull on over, window down. I got the registration and the license, waiting. He comes up and he goes, hey, I pulled you over. You're swerving back there. Crossed the yellow line a couple times. And I was like, I didn't think I did that, but yeah, I said, we just left. I said, I just played 5 games of hockey, man. I said, I'm beat. We were talking about hockey. I said, my mistake. I said, here's my license and registration. And then straight up, like, I was like, here's my stuff. Like, just go fucking run it and get me out of here. Straight up, he was like, how many beers have you had tonight? Like, straight up. I was like, none, dude. Like, I was like, and I'm just super casual because I'm like, I know I'm sober. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I've been sober for that's why I've actually been sober for 67 days, officer. Aren't you proud of me? Like, it's just like, nah, man, like, I haven't had any. He's like, I need you to follow my pen real fast. And like, I'm like, okay. And he's like, just move your eyes, not your head. I'm like, okay. And he's like, he goes, wait over here. I'm like, man, you're going out of my vision. Like, I'm not playing this game with you. Like I'm not fucked up, but I get it. It's pre-Thanksgiving. I said, it's the busiest drinking night of the year. Okay. Yeah, I get it. So literally he's like, all right, I'll be right back. He goes back, comes back. He's like, I need you to step out of the truck for me. And I'm like, and Steve's like, is this happening? I'm like, I guess this is happening. Like, I don't know. And I'm come to the front of the truck and he's like, all right, we're going to do a field sobriety test.
I aced mine. I've only had one my entire life and I aced it hammered. Go on.
This is wild, right? I'm like, bro, like I haven't done anything. Like, I'm fucking. And
it's not even like he has the smell or anything because you smell.
That's
like
what I'm saying. There's no way you smell like booze because I know as a sober person, like now when you're sober and you look back on it, you're like, bro, like, how do you not smell that booze? If you haven't been drinking, you know what I mean? Because and I was like, it's not on my breath. Like you don't smell anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't. So anything, I'm up there in the front, cop, he comes back up and he's got his partner with him and He's like, all right, I'm going to need you to do this and do that. So I guess I failed. The field sobriety test. I guess I did that poorly. I mean, it was only 28 degrees outside. I'm in sandals with no socks, and I just finished playing, no shirt. I'm just wearing a hoodie with no shirt underneath. Like I just played 5 games of hockey without a shower. Like, let me go the fuck home. Right. So like, he puts me through the fucking ringer with all these dumb, hold your foot up, walk the line, all this shit. Well, I guess I failed. Because he was like, all right, I'll be right back. And he went to go get the breathalyzer. So I'm talking to the other guy, and the other guy's like, so you play hockey, huh? And I'm like, do you want to smell my fucking hands? Like, do you want to look in the bed of my truck and just touch our wet gear that we just played 5 fucking games in? Like, this is what I'm thinking in my head. But I'm like, yeah, I'm a hockey player, but like, we just, the rink is on the road that you followed me on for 5 miles. Like, why would I lie about where I'm coming? But I get it. I'm in the back of my mind, I'm going, I get it. Busiest drinking night of the year. It's what I keep saying. I'm like, all right, just chill out. Like, don't be a dick. You know what I mean? Just like go through it. So he brings the breathalyzer up. I blow. And I'm like, okay, I know you can definitely not smell any booze because I'm not drunk and I'm blowing in your face. Like he's holding the breathalyzer like in his face. Blow through the thing. It beeps 0.00. And the shock on their faces, the guy was like, showed his partner. And he was like, huh. I was like, damn. I said, you guys thought you had something, didn't you? I was like, he was like, all right, I guess you can get in your truck. And I was like, all right, cool, man.
Yeah.
I tried to tell you I haven't had anything to drink. And then Steve's like, did they really just make you blow? I'm like, yeah, that was wild. Like to be like in that scenario.
Man, knowing our track record too, all the times
Dude.
we probably should have.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was. Well, I know when he pulled up when he pulls up your license plate or whatever, because the last cop I got pulled over, I've been pulled over 30 something times, and he was like, and there's a DUI on there. I got a DUI when I was 21 years old, right out of the fucking gate like a moron, so it's like, I really don't drive drunk. And especially like right now, like, I'm not drinking fucking sober and everything. I'm like, and I just felt, I had mixed feelings about it because Steve was like, man, that guy was a fucking dick. Like, and he was very aggressive. Like he was the state trooper.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, super aggressive. And we talked. So it's funny as shit. I was like, yeah, man, we didn't recognize the headlights. I was like, what is that? He goes, oh, that's a brand new Ford Explorer. And I was like, oh, you get a lot of these. Like you get a lot of DUIs. Like you're the man. They get you the new car. And like, so then like at this point now we're just being like low key fucking with him and being dicks. But I was like, yeah, I didn't recognize the headlights. I wasn't sure if that was a cop or not. I said, you rolled up pretty fucking quick. And he was like, yeah, he's like, I saw you. And I was like, okay, man, like have a good night. Go catch someone. You know what I mean? Like, cause they had 3 state troopers stacked. They're ready to take me in, bro. Like he thought he had it, done deal for sure.
And it was he's probably the man too. With having
that's what I mean.
He's probably the man. He was like,
yeah,
I got this one wrong.
Yeah, this is the DUI guy.
Hilarious.
And I was like, bro, and then I'm thinking, I was like, so I said, imagine if, because there were other people partaking, it's a hockey tournament. Of course, you're going to have some bevies. You know what I mean? And I was like, I just looked at Steve and I was like, what if I was like 4, 5, 6 beers in? I'd have been fucked. Yeah. Like straight to jail. Like, cause I guess I failed the field sobriety part of it.
Mention the tag lights?
No. Not at all. So look.
So something he could have legit pulled you over and gave you a citation for. He did not.
Yeah. So he just wrote me a warning for what was it? Like not reckless driving, because that's not a warning, but something like failure to comply with fucking street sign or something. I'm like, okay, cool. But then, and so as I'm walking back to the truck, the other cop is at the back of my truck and he points at my taillights and the other cop goes, no, like this. Like they're like, oh, leave it open so someone else can pull him over. Is basically what I thought in my head. Yeah, is what he was thinking. He was like, no, I'm not ready enough for that. I want him to get pulled over again. This guy's he's going out tonight. Yeah, I could just see like this cop's like, oh, we're going to get him. We're going to get this guy.
Him. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, so I was like, fuck it, man. I was like, we're just 55, locked it in the right-hand lane, cruised on the way home. But it was really wild. It was aggressive at the time, but now I just think it's fucking hilarious. Like, it was like, this guy wasted a half an hour. As I'm texting people that are at the tournament going, hey guys, be careful. I just got pulled over. They're definitely out tonight, and getting responses going, yeah, we saw as the people that have been drinking, the people that are drinking are flying by us.
That's
hilarious. We saw, good luck. I'm like, I'm fucking sober. I don't need luck. Like, you know what I mean? Fucking like y'all need luck. Like it was just wild. Like you pulled over the one sober. I guess I was the best guy to pull over leaving the rink. You know what I mean? Cause like
for the team.
Yeah, let everyone else get home. So I was like, I thought
if you had
hilarious.
3 troopers on you, they all would have been spread out and could have got multiple guys from that tournament.
Yeah.
They all focused on you. And
yeah, I'm telling you, bro, like this guy he thought it was in the bag. Like just to see the disappointment on his face when that thing came up, he was like, huh. And then I was nervous because like, what if he tries to hit me? Because one of my buddies got a DUI or a DWI. He was not drunk, but he says it was like allergy medicine or something like that. His eyes were all red, and they wrote him up for a DUI. And I was like, what if this guy tries to write me up for like he thinks I'm, high or something like that? And I'm like, bro, I was like, I'm not trying to get fucked here. You know what I mean? Like I got a lot on stake, with my career and my van and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot I got, and I was like, what if this guy tries to pin something on me? And then that brought up a whole bunch of other feelings, you know what I mean? Of just about society and what people go through and whatnot. It was a wild experience. Very aggressive when it happened. Funny to me now, but still concerning that people go through that type of confrontation all the time.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
And, not to get too far off topic here, we'll keep this short, but you being a white man, you probably not even once thought like, I could get my ass whooped tonight. I could get shot tonight.
No, not that. But I was thinking, I was like, if they arrest me, I was like, I already get it. Like, I already know I know what people go through, you know what I mean? Different people and how they're just immediately judged and, they're just assumed they're a criminal. Cause I felt that way. Like this guy thought that I was a drunk driver.
He saw,
you know what I mean?
DUI on your
back. Yeah. So
times he thought you were, yeah.
And that's what I mean. Not to put myself in that, to bring up, but I was like, this is kind of that helpless feeling that people must get when they know they've done nothing wrong, but they're just being hounded or just, they're trying to be coerced into saying something. You know what I mean? That's why, and I know that complete the fish, shut the fuck up. I don't say shit. I just stood there. Oh, you play hockey? Yeah, I play hockey, played in a tournament. Like I'm not telling you nothing. Where you going? Home. I'm not telling you shit. I know that just from previous interactions with officers of the law. So, you know what I mean? The more you trust me, because everything you say, they're not trying to help you. They're trying to fucking bury you. I know that for a fact. So, but it was a wild scenario, a wild situation to be in. And for 5 minutes, I was legit concerned. I was like, I'm going to go to jail for nothing. Like, I was like, I'm going to fucking, and Steve, and I know, and Steve was like trying to hold his tongue. You know how we both are with the fucking smart mouth. Like he was like, I wanted to say something so bad, but I didn't want to get you in trouble. I'm like, I didn't want to get me in trouble. I just stood out there quiet the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, it was wild. It was definitely a wild experience. But yeah, in closing, just, be safe out there, make smart decisions. I'm glad I made, a smart decision, that
and
night.
At the end of the day, he was just doing his job.
He was doing his, and that's what I said. And I will have this conversation openly with anybody. I am not, I don't even want to put, I guess I'll just put, I don't know how to put this out there without offending anybody or upsetting anybody. I'm not a fan of police, but I know their role in society and it is very important. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'm
1000% with you. I think some of the shit they do, they shouldn't. The way they, prowl and hunt people down for bit of shit when there's real fucking issues at hand. But you're right. At the same time, like, they're needed. They really are needed.
Yeah, because what if I was blacked out drunk and they just saved my life and someone else's? You know what I mean? Like because that could have been the scenario.
And your area
I'm also thinking,
happened, right? A drunk driver killed.
Oh yeah,
child.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yeah. So and that's something that I that's why I said it was aggressive at the time, but I understood what he was doing. It's the busiest drinking night of the year. Mm-hmm. You have a profession where people lie to you 24/7. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like any interaction that happens with you, you're being lied to.
Yeah. And you have to assume, like, when those type of things happen in that county where, like, that drunk driver killed the woman and her child, like, right. As a police officer, knowing that that's your duty to stop that shit, you probably, even if you're not involved, you take that shit to heart.
Very much so.
This shit happened in my county. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't believe this happened under my watch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm sure there's officers that take that type of, and so when they're out there, this shit ain't gonna happen on my watch type of attitude.
Yeah. And this guy was Captain Serious. Like this guy try hard 110%. That's what I mean. I can't hate him. I'm not mad at him. I get it. I understand. I crossed the yellow line. Sure. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Are you going to take my word at midnight, 2 dudes in a pickup truck on the busiest drink night of the year? I get it. You think I'm lying. But at the same time, like, I told him multiple times, I was like, bro, like, you're going out of my field of vision with the pen. So I turned my head. Like, I'm not a fucking moron. Like, you know what I mean? Like I told him that. I was like, you're going out of my field of vision, man. And he's like, okay, just follow the pen. I'm like, I am, but you're going out of my field of vision. Like you're going over here to make me go like this. Like I'm not stupid. Like, you know, like I'm not under the influence. Like I understand what you're trying to do here. I get it. Like my eyes are fucking white, nothing red, not glossy. And I know you don't smell booze. That's just where I was. You know what I mean? I was like, I get it. This guy's, you know, he's trying to draw it out of me. Let's get him out of the truck. He's like, any injuries I need to know about? Injuries? I was like, boy, oh boy. He's like, before we start the test, do you have any injuries you want to tell me about? I was like, I mean, what do you want, my whole fucking rap sheet? I was like, I got fucking 2 herniated discs. I got 2 bad knees. I said, I'm a hockey player, man. Like, I'm all fucked up. He's like, okay. Like, it was just wild. Like, you know, like the whole scenario was wild. But yeah, learn from it. Definitely weird doing one sober, which is really, really weird. Like going through that sober is wild. Because I've only been through one other time and your boy was blacked out drunk.
I've only been through one my entire life. And I was hammered leaving a golf tournament on July 4th. And I drove away.
Daytime?
Yep.
Wow, that's why.
Away. Yeah.
That's why it was daytime.
Yeah,
lucky dog.
He got me. And I was like, but I don't know how this is, but when I'm drunk, high, whatever the scenario is, I can hit a switch where I become it. Like I didn't drink all night. Like mentally, I feel like that. I can make. I don't know what. It's weird. Sometimes it freaks me out, but I can be dead serious, like in the zone, and that's what happened. Yeah. I did it to the alphabet backwards. Did the nose thing. Did the balance thing.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me. He was like, "All right, you can go." I was like,
"Damn,
I'm driving home, like,
breathalyzer."
Holy shit! No, if he would have breathalyzed me, I'm fucked.
Man, I'll have to share the DUI story on here. It's a long one and it's a good one. Like it's genuinely one of my, I hate telling the story, but now I find a lot of humor in it because of just of all the drunkenness that was going on in this scenario. It was absolutely, yeah. And in St. Mary's County, you know, like down here in the county. So it was, yeah, I'll have to share that story on the next pod, but yeah, man, definitely a wild experience.
It's been good to catch up with you. Glad you had a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too. Glad that, man, so much. This was a good pod, man. That we got a lot covered here. It was good to see you. Love seeing, like I said, getting your boy some skates, man. It's so exciting.
He can't start that. You know, the NHL does like the start program where they give him all the free gear. He can't start till 4, and I'm like, I'm not waiting a year.
No way, bro. Get this kid out there.
Yeah, when he goes to join that, he's gonna be ace in the pocket.
I was gonna say, give him an old twig to balance
dude,
with.
Up here, it's so crazy. You can get on Facebook Marketplace, and there's guys renting out sheets of ice. Like, you know, you rent a rink. Like up here, it's like it's nothing to them. I could go rent ice for an hour for $70. Just me and him.
That's so dope.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm excited about it.
Great move. Great move. Just you really solidify it with things like that. Well,
what also kind of got it going too is I know those day pickups sometimes.
Yeah.
So I schedule my schedule based off being able to make those. And so had worked out where I was like, why don't you bring him? You guys show up, you know, I'm going to go early as always. You guys just come through, and he got to see me play for the first time.
Not that's exciting.
In the driveway, but actually on the ice.
Right.
And yeah, so after that, he's been talking about going skating. He's talking about playing hockey all the time.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so got him to bite the
That's so cool.
Yeah, because before it was just knee hockey and shooting in the driveway, which he loses interest in after a little bit. But
because he
out on the ice.
Yeah.
Now he wants to go to the hockey store every day. So hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm pretty excited.
Look at you just winning, dadding it up. I love
it. You have these accomplishments in your life, and it's the craziest thing that these things that you wouldn't even thought of are like high moments in your life. Like,
right.
Anyone else like, okay, you bought your kids some ice skates. Who gives a fuck? But to me,
that's a big deal.
I'm gonna remember this. I know I am forever
for the rest of your life,
regardless of if he plays hockey. If he could be a fucking football player or a gymnast, who knows? But I will remember the first skates I got him, the Bauer XL.
Yeah. Man, that's a good feeling. Good for you. I'm happy for you.
Thanks, man.
Happy for you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to end on such a positive note.
Yeah, I love the first time. No conspiracy. All right.
As you said, conspiracy. My tripod just dropped like 3 inches. It was like no conspiracies. We're like they know. They know. FBI agent just logged out. I just saw a green button flash I've never seen before.
Oh, that's where the random
awesome, bro.
From.
Yeah, my hand isn't up. Dude, it did get me. So I was taking a picture in my bedroom, like I had to do my progress picture. And you know how the iPhone will put the yellow square around the face? It did it behind me, and I about dropped a turd. Like I was standing there, and I was like, all right, I just need a little. And like it hit a yellow square like right here, like behind me. And I was like looking in the mirror, and like it hit a yellow square behind me. And I was like, I was ready to fight, bro. I was ready to fight her shit. Like one of the two, especially the previous things that I don't want to talk about it.
I remember those days.
Yeah, bro. Wow, what a time of my life.
Oh wow.
But yeah, everything's been just fine. So yeah.
All right, folks.
I just want to say goodbye. This is the 8th time trying to say goodbye. We're leaving this time.
Hey, we appreciate everybody that tuned in and made it this far. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Do all the things, like, comment, and share. We really appreciate it. Help us grow. Feel free to comment. We'd love to hear the feedback about the Yeppies, what you'd like to hear, what you don't like to hear.
For sure.
Interview, all that good stuff. And until next time, brother.
Be well, guys.